Alright, so today we'll review the skill of renaming a fraction and also use our increased understanding of the order of operations to work out problems with focus on the steps instead of the answer. Remember that fraction has many names. Remember we did this yesterday. 2/3 multiplied by 2 is 4 and 6. Multiplied by 3, 2 times 3 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. 2 times 4 is 8. 3 times 4 is 12. And these are all the names, and again all you had to do is just simply multiply the top and bottom. But again, those are all based on the simplified form, 2/3. To change the name, you simply multiply the numerator and denominator by the same amount. Again, the names came from multiplying. For here you did times 3, so 2 times 3 is 6, 3 times 3 is 9, and that still makes 2/3 no matter what. So quick look at the examples real fast. If you are asked to rewrite 9/8 with a denominator of 24, then I would put 24 on the bottom. I would figure out what 8 multiplies to be 24, and remember the way you do that is by dividing. If you want to know what multiplies by 8 to make 24, use the opposite of multiplication, which is division. So 24 divided by 8 is 3, which means I'll multiply this by 3. 9 times 3 is 27, and that would be your 9/8 and 24ths as your denominator. Rewrite the fraction 3/7 with a denominator of 42. Again, 42 goes on the bottom because that's what I want my denominator to be. What do I multiply 7 by to make it 42? Let's see. 42 divided by 7. Again, take the denominator you want divided by the denominator that you actually have. Find out that is 6. That means times 6, and 3 times 6, of course, is 18. So again, hopefully you got that down. It's a very simple skill. You just got to make sure you try it enough to get the idea for the most part. Our second topic was discussed in depth yesterday, and that's because after seeing order of operations in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, as well as twice in the last semester, students who struggle need a different perspective. Here's a quick review of what you should understand. Again, going through the story. Order of operations is like a school lunch line. Your steps should consider what operations get fed first. The principal, parentheses, can cut in front of everyone in the line. He or she gets fed first no matter what. If parentheses is there, parentheses gets the first plate. The assistant principal, which is exponents, can cut in front of everyone except the principal. So again, principal strongest, assistant principal, which is exponents, second strongest. If the principal is not in line, the assistant principal gets fed first. After the assistant principal is your teachers, which is multiplication division. Remember, if there's more than one teacher, feed the first teacher in line. So if it is Joe, which is lowercase because it's a student, Anderson is a teacher, that's why I capitalized it, Bates, I don't know, Michael, and Thompson. So again, student, teacher, teacher, student, teacher. The first teacher to get fed would be the first teacher in line, then the second teacher in line, then the third teacher in line, and then you feed your students accordingly. Alright, so again, that's just kind of, you don't really have to make that many decisions, but again, that's the general idea of what's going on. So same rule for students. Once all adults are aligned, feed what students first, and that way you can get the job done. So let's look at some examples from today's homework. Be sure to take good notes. Again, you will need them to walk through your Math XL. So, looking at what we're doing again, this is that problem that we had where it gives us these things and they want the operations as shown. Remember, you will look and say our first operation is addition, so A. Second is division. Remember, that is multiplication because those two things are attached. That is not parentheses, but it is subtraction. So addition, division, multiplication, subtraction. What operation should be worked out first, second, and third? So again, this is just a real quick review just to make sure we remember it. The first operation, there's no principal, there's no administrator, so it would be division. And then after division would be the second teacher in class or in the line, which would be multiplication. After that, you would do the first student in line, which would be the A, and then of course the S. So again, first teacher, second teacher, student, student. Same thing here. List the operations and determine first, second, third, and so on. In this case, your first operation in line is multiplication. First operation in the problem is multiplication. Remember, that is not parentheses, but we do have an exponent, and then we have subtraction. In terms of order, is there a principal in line? No. Is there an assistant principal in line? Yes, there is. That's why exponents would be first. The teacher in line is here, and then subtraction would be last. So again, that was all the analysis that we did, and the reason we did that is so we can actually get to the tough part. Alright, so today we use analysis to actually simplify expressions. The toughest part about working in order of operations is that we can get so worried about the answer that we fail to think about what operation is most important. So that is where we should be now. So again, now that we learned to look at the operation, let's look and say, is there any parentheses? Nope. Any exponents? Nope. Now we're looking for the first teacher. Well, the teachers are multiplication and division, and the first teacher in line is there. So you rewrite the 2 and the plus. You turn 8 times 3 into 24, and then you rewrite everything after. So minus 18 divided by 2. And again, the reason why it's not as tough as what it seemed is because now you can ignore this and just look here and say student, student, there's a teacher. First teacher in line is 18 divided by 2. So rewrite your 2, your plus 24, and your minus 18 divided by 2 is 9. Guess what? Now you can ignore this. These are both students. How do I figure out which student to feed? The one that is first in line. So 26 minus 9, and there's your answer. And you do have to show all those steps, so make sure you copy that question down for yourself. All these questions are on your homework, and you do have to show steps on all of them, so make sure that you're copying these, because that way you know exactly what you need to do, or at least, again, enough to get an attempt. Because remember, once you see that attempt, you should be able to send me something and I can try to tell you what you did wrong. B is a little bigger step. Alright, in B you have a parentheses. Inside this parentheses you have addition and an exponent. Well, which one is higher on that list based off what we talked about? That's a student and that is an administrator, so it would be the 7 squared. Remember, 7 squared is not 7 times 2. It is 7 2 times. I'm sorry, I just did what I told you not to do. It's 7 2 times, which is 49. So you rewrite your 2, your parentheses, your 4. That's why I always underline whatever I'm looking at. So 2, 4, plus, and 7 squared becomes 49. We still have parentheses because there's an operation on the inside, so we now need to do this. So we do 2 parentheses, 4 and 49 make 53. And anytime you multiply a number, a double digit number by 2, you pretty much double both, so that would be a 6. That would be a 10 in front of that 6, so it would be 106. As long as nothing carried over, you could do it that way. If you did 2 times 74, it would be an 8 and a 14 in front, and it would just end up that way. So again, just kind of using that if you get the chance. One operation at a time here. So again, analyzing the signs. Are there any principals? Nope. Are there any assistant principals? Nope. Are there any teachers? No. So guess what? First student in line, here. And then rewrite everybody else. First student in line, here. And then rewrite everybody else. First student in line, here. And then rewrite everybody else. And then the last step is to simply add those two together. So again, not bad. Just make sure you're ready for that. Here, let's see, no administrators, no exponents, but we do have the first teacher, which is division. Again, what a lot of people think is that that's parentheses, so you do 6 times 8. No, that's multiplication. Remember, that is subtraction, division, multiplication, addition. Division is the first teacher in line, so write your 9 and your minus. 6 divided by 6 is 1. Copy your parentheses 8 and plus 2. Now we have multiplications there because it's subtraction, multiplication, addition. So that's your teacher. So 9 minus 8 plus 2. Now we do the first student in line, which is 1 plus 2, and then that makes 3. And that is all. Addition and multiplication. Remember, that is not parentheses, that's multiplication. So therefore multiplication goes first. and 22 is what you end up with. Again, not bad, just something you gotta be ready for. Multiplication and exponents. Remember, that is not parentheses. That is a parentheses, but it's not the P in terms of order of operations. So multiplication and exponent. So now we gotta do 3 to the 5th. Remember, since we've done this for a long time, I don't need you to expand it out in your work. Just go ahead and do it. 3 to the 5th means 5 threes, which is 243. So 4 parentheses 243. And now you go ahead and do 4 times 243, which is 972. And with that done, that is all. So again, remember to focus on the operations as you move forward. It's important you learn how to slow down and see what you are doing instead of trying to get everything done quickly. Let me know if you have issues. Again, this is a tougher topic. It's not our most fun topic, but the good news is you're done with it now for the rest of the quarter. It'll be back next quarter. But again, try your best to get it down so you can actually be ready for that test at the end of the week so you can actually get that done. So other than that, like I said, let me know if you have any issues, and good luck.